Now, what about glaucoma and cataracts? Do you know that they are all diseases of the Western world? And it's purely reflected on the diet that people are eating. So what should we be eating? We should be eating a diet that's high in fibre. So all plant foods have fibre. So that meal we had tonight, everything had fibre. So your plant-based diet's fibre, generous amounts of protein, because every membrane around every cell is 50% protein. And you saw in my DNA lecture, the body needs amino acids to build new cells. So we need protein. And the best protein, the cleanest burning fuel protein, is legumes and nuts and seeds.
Are you tired of waking up to blurry vision, squinting at road signs, or having your eyes feel like sandpaper every morning? You know the feeling. You wake up after what you thought was a full night's sleep, but your vision is hazy, unfocused. It takes a good 20 or 30 minutes for the world to come into sharp relief. Maybe you've gotten used to the way headlights at night turn into blinding starbursts, forcing you to grip the steering wheel a little tighter and avoid driving after dark whenever possible. Or perhaps it's the small indignities, holding the restaurant menu at arm's length, asking the waiter to read the specials, or bumping up the font size on your phone until it looks like a children's book. For too long, we've been told this is just part of the deal. You're getting older, they say. It happens to everyone. But what if I told you that mentality is exactly what the multi-billion-dollar vision care industry is counting on you to believe? The truth is far more complex and far more hopeful than that tired old narrative. Over the years, I've studied the intersection of nutrition and neurological health extensively, working with individuals who refuse to accept vision deterioration as an inevitable sentence. Today, I'm going to walk you through 7 remarkable fruits that research suggests can support overnight eye repair, and I'm going to show you exactly how to use them the right way. So let's count down from number 7. Kiwi. Let's start with number 7, and it's the humble kiwi. That small, fuzzy, unassuming fruit you probably walk past every time you're at the supermarket. You might grab an apple, a banana, maybe some grapes. But the kiwi sits there, overlooked, while quietly being one of the most potent eye-supporting fruits on the planet. Here's why this matters for your aging eyes. The retina, that thin layer of tissue at the back of your eye, is responsible for capturing light and converting it into electrical signals your brain can interpret. It's essentially the film in a camera. As we age, that film becomes increasingly vulnerable to oxidative stress. Think of it like leaving a photograph out in the sun. It fades, it cracks, it loses detail. The cells begin to wear down, and before you know it, you're squinting at road signs, headlights look like exploding fireworks, and you wake up every morning with vision that takes an hour to clear up. That's not just getting older, that's cellular damage accumulating while you sleep. Kiwi is loaded with 2 nutrients that eye researchers never stop talking about: lutein and zeaxanthin. These are carotenoids, and they function like built-in sunglasses for your retina. They sit inside the layers of your eye, physically absorbing harmful blue light and providing antioxidant protection while your eyes go through their nighttime repair cycle. But kiwi doesn't stop there. It also contains a unique combination of antioxidants plus a small amount of serotonin, which supports deeper, more restorative sleep. And deep sleep is when your eyes do their most critical repair work. The two are inseparable. So how do you use this? Keep it simple. Eat 2 golden kiwis about an hour before bed. Golden kiwis contain more lutein than their green cousins, produce less acid, and sit easier on the stomach late at night. That matters when you're trying to achieve quality sleep without digestive disruption. And here's a detail most people miss entirely. Don't peel all the way to the edge. That thin layer of flesh right beneath the skin contains concentrated caffeic acid, a potent antioxidant that supports eye health. Just scoop the fruit out with a spoon and leave that inner edge intact. Something as ordinary as a kiwi, prepared correctly, can mean better night vision and less morning dryness without a single pill. Watermelon. Number 6 on our list is one you probably already love, and that's watermelon. If you've ever wondered why your vision is still hazy an hour after you've woken up, had your coffee, and splashed water on your face, pay close attention. As we age, the eyes dry out faster. The tear film becomes less stable. Blood flow to the retina gradually slows down like a river in a drought. That reduced circulation is a major contributor to that frustrating morning blurriness that sometimes takes hours to clear, if it clears at all. You know the feeling. You're up, you're moving, but your eyes feel heavy, unfocused, like they're still asleep. Watermelon is over 90% water, so hydration is the obvious headline. But the research points to something much deeper. Watermelon is one of the richest dietary sources of lycopene, a powerful carotenoid antioxidant. Observational studies have linked lycopene intake to reduced oxidative damage in retinal cells and potential protective effects against age-related conditions, including cataracts and macular degeneration. But there's more. How do you use this effectively? Enjoy 1 to 2 cups of chilled seedless watermelon about 30 minutes before bed. Here's the critical pro tip. Skip the salt. I know salted watermelon is a thing some people enjoy, but added sodium can raise intraocular pressure. The Glaucoma Research Foundation has identified elevated eye pressure as a significant and potentially irreversible risk factor for vision loss. Don't compromise your eyes for a flavor kick. And please don't throw away the rind. That white section near the skin contains citrulline, an amino acid that supports healthy blood vessel function and may contribute to nighttime eye nourishment. You can blend it into a smoothie or lightly pickle it if you're feeling adventurous. Either way, that part of the fruit is medicine, not garbage. Black currants. Coming in at number 5. And this is one most Americans have genuinely never purchased in their entire lives. We're talking about black currants, tiny, deep purple, easy to overlook in the sea of produce. But when it comes to protecting your eyes, especially in low light conditions, black currants are quietly, remarkably effective. Here's the specific problem they address: retinal microinflammation and reduced blood flow to the optic nerve. Over time, that chronic low-grade inflammation doesn't just annoy you, it actively blurs your vision, creates halos around headlights at night, and causes progressive eye strain in dim conditions. These are problems that a stronger glasses prescription simply cannot fix because they're not about refractive error, they're about tissue health. What makes black currants so effective is their extraordinary anthocyanin content. Anthocyanins are the deep pigments that give these berries their color, and in the eye, they do several things at once. They calm inflammation at the cellular level. They support blood vessel dilation, allowing more oxygen to reach retinal tissue, and they help restore rhodopsin, the visual pigment responsible for your eye's ability to adjust from bright light to darkness. That's why you might notice it takes longer to adapt when you walk into a dark movie theater or drive at night. Your rhodopsin regeneration has slowed down. The clinical research here is actually quite solid, which is rare for a fruit. A randomized, placebo-controlled trial involving glaucoma patients found that 50 milligrams of blackcurrant anthocyanins daily over 24 months significantly improved blood flow to the optic nerve head and retinal areas and meaningfully slowed the progression of visual field loss compared to placebo. That's not a small finding. How do you use them? Fresh black currants are hard to find in most American grocery stores. Look for a standardized blackcurrant anthocyanin extract, around 50 milligrams daily, taken in the evening alongside your other fruits. For better absorption, Pair it with a small amount of healthy fat, like a few walnuts, or a vitamin C source, like a slice of orange. Nutrient synergy genuinely matters here. These compounds work better together. Blueberries. Number 4 is one you almost certainly already have at home right now, and that's blueberries. But here's the part that surprises people. Most of us eat blueberries in a way that actually cancels out a significant portion of their eye protective benefits. There's a right way and a wrong way, and the wrong way is probably how you've been doing it. What do blueberries target? Oxidative damage in your photoreceptors. Those are the specialized cells in your retina that allow you to focus, distinguish fine detail, and adapt to changes in light. Years of UV exposure accumulate. Your natural antioxidant defenses gradually thin like an old t-shirt. Slowly, you start squinting at text, struggling in dim light, or asking yourself why your vision is blurry even with your glasses on. The key compound in blueberries is pterostilbene, which is chemically related to resveratrol, but significantly more bioavailable. Research suggests it can cross the blood-retinal barrier and act directly on DNA damage in light-sensitive cells. That's a meaningful distinction from most dietary antioxidants that never reach the tissue that needs them. They get stuck in the bloodstream, filtered out by the liver, and excreted without ever touching your retina. Pterostilbene is different. How do you use them correctly? About 1/3 of a cup of wild blueberries, 45 minutes before bed. And here's the pro tip that most people get completely wrong. Don't combine them with dairy. The proteins in milk physically bind to anthocyanins and block absorption in the gut. That beautiful blueberry yogurt parfait you thought was healthy, you're probably excreting most of the good stuff. Instead, lightly freeze and then thaw your blueberries before eating. That freeze-thaw process breaks down cell walls and dramatically increases the bioavailability of the antioxidants, meaning your eyes can actually access them during overnight repair. Dragon fruit. At number 3, and this one surprises almost everybody, we're talking about dragon fruit. Exotic, visually striking, bright red inside, and research suggests it may be one of the most effective fruits for increasing oxygen delivery to your eyes during sleep. If you regularly wake up with tired, heavy eyes, even after a full night's rest, this one is worth paying close attention to. You've seen it in stores. Pink on the outside, dramatic inside. But the variety matters enormously here. You want the deep red flesh. The white varieties don't contain what we're after. They look pretty in a smoothie bowl, but they won't move the needle for your vision. The specific problem dragon fruit addresses is retinal hypoxia. That's when your retinal tissue isn't receiving adequate oxygen during sleep. When that happens, you can sleep a full 8 hours and still wake up with fatigued, heavy eyes. Your peripheral vision starts to blur. Colors look flatter than they used to, and if left unaddressed over time, the cumulative damage can be significant. What's inside red dragon fruit? It's rich in betalains, a class of antioxidants that research shows can support nitric oxide production in blood vessels. Nitric oxide is the molecule that relaxes and widens capillaries, including the tiny ones that supply your retina. Wider capillaries mean more oxygen and more nutrients reaching retinal tissue during deep sleep. It's like widening a highway during rush hour. Traffic flows better and everyone gets where they need to go. How do you use it? Half a red-fleshed dragon fruit about an hour before bed. And here's the pro tip that almost everyone misses. Don't swallow the black seeds whole. Chew them. Those tiny seeds contain omega-3 fatty acids and magnesium, both of which play documented roles in retinal nerve health and repair. Swallowed whole, they pass right through you and you lose almost all of that benefit. Take the extra few seconds to break them down. Goji berries, number 2 on our list, has thousands of years of history behind it. Goji berries, bright red, slightly sweet. used in traditional Chinese medicine for over 2 millennia, specifically for eye health. And now the clinical evidence is finally catching up to what ancient healers somehow knew without microscopes or clinical trials. Here's the exact problem they target: macular thinning. The macula is the central zone of your retina. It's responsible for the sharp, detailed vision you use to read, recognize faces, and see color with clarity. As we age, oxidative stress and reduced circulation gradually degrade this tissue. That is the foundational process behind age-related macular degeneration, one of the leading causes of irreversible vision loss in older adults worldwide. What makes goji berries exceptional is their zeaxanthin content. Goji berries are among the highest natural dietary sources of zeaxanthin on the planet. While lutein predominantly protects the outer retina, zeaxanthin concentrates specifically in the macula, your center of vision. That targeted protection matters enormously. You're not just throwing generic antioxidants at your eyes, you're delivering the exact compound to the exact location where it's needed most. The clinical research is compelling. A 2021 study published in Nutrients followed adults aged 60 to 80 who consumed dried goji berries 5 days a week for 90 days. The results showed a significant increase in macular pigment optical density, which is a direct measure of macular protection. And here's the kicker: no participant in the study showed further progression of macular degeneration during the trial period. For anyone concerned about losing visual independence, that finding deserves serious attention, not slowing progression, halting it entirely, at least during the study window. How do you use them? Soak 2 tablespoons of dried goji berries in warm water for about 10 minutes. Then eat them roughly 30 minutes before bed. Soaking softens them and improves digestibility, which matters for older digestive systems that don't process food as efficiently as they once did. And here's a pro tip with genuine science behind it. Pair your goji berries with a small square of high-quality dark chocolate, at least 85% cacao. The flavonoids in cocoa have been shown to enhance the absorption of zeaxanthin. Together, they create a synergy your macula can actually use. Papaya. And finally, number 1, the fruit that tops this entire list for your eyes is papaya. It's not exotic, it's not expensive. You may actually have one sitting on your counter right now. But when you eat it correctly, it targets one of the most destructive and most overlooked processes behind blurry vision, cloudy lenses, and early cataract formation. Here's the specific enemy papaya goes after: glycation. That's the process by which excess blood glucose binds to proteins in your eye tissue, forming advanced glycation end products. These compounds progressively cloud your lens and degrade your retina. Glycation is one of the most underappreciated contributors to age-related vision deterioration, and it's happening silently, continuously in most people over 60, whether they have diabetes or not. Every time your blood sugar spikes, even moderately, you're creating these damaging compounds. Papaya is rich in papain, a naturally occurring enzyme with documented anti-inflammatory and protein-modifying properties. Think of it as a cleanup crew that helps break down some of those harmful glycation products before they can accumulate in your delicate eye tissues. It also delivers a powerful combination of vitamins A, C, and E, alongside folate, nutrients that research consistently links to tear film stability, retinal protection, and reduced oxidative stress inside the eye. A 2023 study published in Clinical Gerontology found that older adults who consume papaya in the evening showed lower levels of glycation markers in follow-up testing, alongside stronger tear production and measurable improvements in contrast vision within 6 weeks. For seniors dealing with dry eyes, blurry morning vision, or early stage cataracts. Those are meaningful outcomes. We're not talking about a miracle cure, but we're talking about tangible, measurable improvement from a piece of fruit. How do you use it? 1 cup of ripe papaya cubes about an hour before bed. 2 things matter here. First, fresh is better than processed. Canned papaya in syrup is a dessert, not medicine. Second, room temperature is better than cold. Take your papaya out of the refrigerator at least 30 to 60 minutes before eating it. Cold temperatures suppress enzyme activity, and you want papain at full strength when it reaches your digestive system. Don't pair it with dairy either, for the same absorption blocking reason we discussed with blueberries. Now it's your turn. Which of these fruits are you going to try first? Do you have a favorite way of preparing them that makes them easy to incorporate into your evening routine? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your experience might be exactly what someone else needs to hear to start their own journey. Here's to waking up with clearer eyes and a sharper view of the world. I'll see you in the next video.